Hello, everybody. Excited Utterance here. My name is Hella, and it's a big day. It's a very big day. Let's just say it's one of our favorite topics. It's Murdaugh. And you know what? It wasn't going to be a Murdaugh stream. We weren't expecting a Murdaugh stream, and it shouldn't really have been a Murdaugh stream, but it is. And it's all because some people have been saying things about the Murdaughs, about a particular Murdaugh, that they shouldn't have been. And you know what? He's standing up for himself. And we're talking about Buster Murdaugh. Good old Buster, or Bus. I suppose that's what you'd call Buster, because there's Paw Paw and there's Mags, and is his name Bus? I don't know. Buster. For years, people have been spreading salacious rumors about Buster, and finally he's standing up for himself. Good for him. Good for him. And you know what? Somebody who will go unnamed until in a moment, actually you can see him anyway. There he is down there. The bobblehead man has reacted poorly, in my opinion. I don't think he's reacted very well, but you know, he doesn't tend to react too well to things. So here's our opportunity to react to that. And let's bring in my co-host. And I'll unmute him as well, just for fun. Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
What is up?
What's up? What's up? Hey, let's go. This is going to be so much fun. Buster sues the media. Yeah. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hello, Darlene Hamlin. Good to see you. Hey, Ronnie. Hey, Wicked Wookie. How are you?
Hey.
Irish is here. Good to see ya. Oh, man. Hope everyone's well. Oh, look. So good. So good. Perhaps Buster has to do this since all his wealth is vanished. Hey, people say that, but you just never know. You just never know. What's the matter?
Abu's licking his crotch.
Great. Thanks for that.
Well, I have to look at it.
We didn't need to know it. Anyway, you never know with these families who have money. Like, remember that Rudolph, sorry, the granddad, he passed away and he had money. Who's to say that he didn't leave money to Buster? There's nothing wrong with that. He could have left money to Buster. He could have.
Did he
absolutely.
pass after?
He passed wasn't it just before or around? It was 5 days after, wasn't it? The dad died.
Okay.
5 days after Mags and Paw Paw. Yeah. Or was that the mum?
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure if it was the mom or the dad.
Ah, that's right. The dad died
they were
a little
both
bit before.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
the wife,
they both passed away. They both passed away. But who's to say that he didn't have money from that? Like, there's been plenty of people pass away in that family, and there's lots of money. There's lots of old money in that family. So who's to say that Buster hasn't got money from that and he's not an astute investor? He could be. He could be. So
hope he goes to law school.
I hope so too. But maybe law isn't his bag. Who knows? But yes, I find him to be a victim. Absolutely. He has lost his mother, his brother, and ostensibly he's lost his dad too. So anyway, I also find him to be a victim of defamation, and that's my opinion. I think that any reasonable jury would probably find the same. But we'll see. We will see what happens with that. He is guilty. Guilty of a lot of things, maybe being a little bit full of himself. Today's going to be an interesting stream, guys. Let's get into it. I think Buster should sue simply because of all the bull that's gone on. 100%. 100%. Oh, you've been not feeling well, Darlene?
Oh.
Back to surgeries for your bladder. That's no good. Yikes. That's no good. Well, all the best to you. All right. So For those who aren't aware of what's happened in the last 24 hours or so, it's been huge. It's been huge. Is EB Games still a thing in Australia? Yes, it
Really?
is. Yes, they're actually going really strong. Those, why wouldn't it be?
Because it was like bought out here by
Was it?
GameStop. Yeah.
No. Oh, yeah, no. EB Games is like massive. So. Anyway, but it's not owned by EB, as far as I know. Let's go. So here is news today too. This is on the Daily Mail site, which means it went probably international news. International news. Let's go, peeps.
Buster Murdaugh, the son of convicted murderer Alec Murdaugh, has filed a lawsuit in Hampton County against several media companies, including Netflix and Warner Brothers Discovery. In the lawsuit, Murdaugh alleges that the defendants produced shows and articles that accuse him of being involved in the murder of Stephen Smith back in July of 2015, defaming him and damaging his reputation. Smith was a former classmate of Buster Murdaugh and was found dead on a road in Hampton County after an apparent hit and run. But the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division reopened the case in 2021 while investigating the murders of Paul and Maggie Murdaugh. Buster Murdaugh has not been publicly named as a suspect in this case.
Nope, never publicly named as a suspect in the case. However, people will blame this on small town talk, tattle, gossip, etc. Right? But it went so much further than that. Here I am on the other side of the world, and I know about it. There is Netflix documentaries, there's movies, there's podcasts, there's books, there's all sorts of things that link the death of this boy, Stephen Smith, to the Murdaugh family, and in particular Buster Murdaugh, because they went to high school together. Not just this rumor of them having some sort of intimate relationship because he's a gay boy, but his actual murder, so his homicide. Now, that's a huge thing to link up a person to a homicide. Goodness me. Imagine having that hanging over your head for all these years, knowing that people are saying this, and it's not just people whispering along on the street, but it's actually going off on television and things like that. And I can't believe it's actually taken him this long to sue over these things. But you need to have enough of a solid foundation to create a lawsuit. So let's see what this article says, just very quickly. So the only surviving son of jailed murderer and fraudster, Alex Murdaugh, plans to sue Netflix and Warner Brothers over documentaries connecting him to the murder of a former classmate. Buster Murdaugh, he's now 30, wow, unmistakable for his distinctive red hair, and his brother, both inherited from his father, Alex, 55, is suing media outlets and two major studios for damaging his reputation. Murdaugh claims that various films and stories written about this case have linked him to the killing of 19-year-old Stephen Smith. An attorney for Smith's family, who could that be, everybody? An attorney for Smith's family is warning Murdaugh that trying to suppress information will only have the opposite effect and leave him exposed. Really? Really? Well, that sounds like someone we know. How about we have a look at that? Now, I know you all can't wait to hear from EB. So,
EB.
You ready? There's no, of course there's never been a relationship. In fact, we're gonna, after we do the, because I know everyone's just can't wait to hear Angry Men. After we do the dramatic reading of EB's voice, I'm going to show you where it's been very clearly stated by Buster Murdaugh that no, there was never any romantic relationship, and he had nothing to do with this homicide. He was not there. It's all completely made up. It's fiction. So we'll get to that in a minute. But first, without further ado, this is. Oh, I'll share the right tab. Here we go. Hey, wait. Just so everyone knows, this is probably the most famous voice that Mr. Dali does. So, everybody, let's give it 5 seconds. Over to you, sir.
A stunning new development. It's okay, kitty. In the Murdaugh matters happened today. Buster Murdaugh sued a number of production companies who produced many of the documentaries over the past couple years for what appears to be defamation in connection with being alleged in the documentaries to have had a relationship with Stephen Smith, among other things. I believe this lawsuit will backfire, and backfire in a big way against Buster Murdaugh. These defendants will fight tooth and nail and use the lawsuit to create more documentary content for future documentaries. Did I mention the documentaries? Buster will have to answer questions in a multi-day deposition from every single defendant. For instance, about when he met Stephen Smith. Has he ever ridden in a car with Stephen Smith? Has he ever had lunch or dinner with Stephen Smith? Has Stephen Smith ever been to his house? Does he have knowledge about Stephen Smith's naked body? I mean, death, etc. These lawyers are going to ask him hundreds of questions. Along this nature, there will be discovery into the Murdaugh family. My nipples are hard. All of Buster's friends will be deposed. Don't forget Buster's name was included multiple times in the investigative file surrounding Stephen's death when it was publicly released by the South Carolina Highway Patrol in 2021. The attorney representing Buster will be worked to death by the defense attorneys. I know that this lawsuit has been shopped around for the last couple of years. Smells like an act of desperation to me, like when I hooked up with Mandy one late night, just when the Murdaugh matters were settling down. This just brings new oxygen to them. My 2 cents says it is not a smart move. Not sure whether all Hampton County will be disposed on a jury to rewarding Buster. Probably 50-50 in Hampton County as to pro and con murder supporters. May end up in federal court because I'm not sure that Michael DeWitt was properly named. I think he was named to make sure that there was not federal court jurisdiction in the matter, so it remains pending in state court. We shall see how this unfolds. Interesting, to say the least. E.B.
E.B.
Thank you.
Oh, that was amazing. That was amazing.
That was a long one.
It was, yeah. Well, he doesn't do short ones.
No.
Wow, he's so butthurt.
Well, not that way, John. Well, maybe that way.
Wow, wow. Why does he? I'm not gonna say what. Okay, my first reaction was like, why are you so upset? You're probably gonna make more money out of this. Like your client is gonna need you more than likely. I mean, your client is not being sued.
Yeah.
Although she might be.
I don't think so.
But she's going to need your guidance on this, I would think. But I just don't get why he gets so angry. And also, why does he need to take to Twitter every time something happens like this? Why?
Yeah.
It's just, his ego is just, and also the hypocrisy The hypocrisy. Thank you, Rosie, for that hashtag. His lack of self-awareness is just stunning. The whole idea of giving more oxygen to the case and this being like a what does he call it? Where is it?
Smells like desperation.
Yeah, all that kind of thing. It's ridiculous. It's like you are someone who, with your Cup of Justice podcast, and I know it's not yours, EB, but like you go on it regularly. It's absolutely been dragging this thing out for years past its use by date. So I just don't understand why you think that this is is Buster's opportunity to drag it out. He's not the one who's been dragging this out. It's the people who he's suing. They're the ones who've been dragging it out, and people like you, EB. So goodness me, it's just pot calling kettle black in such a big way. Murdaugh probably didn't give EB more of a cut, so now he's butthurt. Oh, he's been butthurt for so long. All right, so let's have a bit of a look at some of the responses to this. Now, EB has this. Here's just a little bit of the document. We're going to have a look at the document in a moment. Less tweets, EB, more ego. EB, send us pics of your balloon knots. Yeah. Okay. So we'll look at the document in a moment. Look at this: 207.9 thousand views. Dear. Okay. Do you want to read these?
I can't believe his lawyer advised him to do this. The discovery will be brutal, and it will not stay confidential. And if I were representing a defendant, I'd fight confidentially or sealing tooth and nail. Litigation is a terrible way to heal trauma. Terrible legal advice. Agree 100%, Becky. Astute analysis, EB.
Okay, I don't get it. That's assuming that he's got something terrible to hide. Like, what do you think he has to hide? Why are you so sure that the discovery process is going to be brutal, right? So for the discovery process to be brutal, that's assuming that there's something else that's going to come out that is going to be embarrassing, is going to cause all sorts of drama, right? Now, I can't imagine there's much more about the Murdaugh family that could come out. How much more could come out? So much has already come out. These people are vultures. They've been digging and digging and digging for so long. Pretty much everything's out there, I think. How much more could there be? And I don't think there's much on Buster. Like, I think Buster's lived a pretty normal life, really. So I think this is it's brave of him to do it because, yes, they will be digging into his background, but it's been done already. This has all been done already.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a bit of a look at some different people's opinions. I agree. He's got so many fangirls and fanboys. This was a huge unforced error on Buster's part. Will DeWitt's defense likely fall under Gannett Media? He shouldn't be allowed to be ground down financially by this. Okay, so for those who don't know, Michael DeWitt is the only individual who's been named in the lawsuit. And he is local to South Carolina. He works for a newspaper. I'm not sure. It's a news title. I'm not sure whether he owns that title or whether he just works for it. He's an editor. And he spoke in a documentary, and his words are actually quoted in the lawsuit. We're going to be reading that shortly. And do you want to read what Eric Bland has said in response here?
I agree. Mike DeWitt is a nice man. Kind, salt of the earth. EB.
Yes. Oh, this is funny. He's about to FAFO, and Eric Bland is this. See this?
Prima donna like me. I am laughing pretty hard. I did not know what FAFO meant, and I just looked it up. Funny, but true. Har, 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 har. Be careful what you ask for, right? EB.
He didn't know what it meant. Dear me.
Yeah, why don't you go look up the purple waffle while you're at it?
Okay. I'm just curious, Eric. Is there any proof that he did know Stephen, or is it just rumored?
I think he was in like the same circle.
No. Can you answer?
Oh, Junabago. I believe publicly he said that he knew him from school, but that was all. EB.
Well, there you go. Yeah. This. As a lawyer, how can you slander his name to be involved in a murder? What proof do you have? Good question.
Panda Bear. That's kind of a silly name. I have never said he was involved in a murder. In fact, I have always said I have no connection of any murder with Stephen Smith's death. But do I believe that he has some information that would be relevant into this investigation? Absolutely. EB.
Yeah, right. Okay, hang on a second. I hope he is successful in his vindication. What certain people did to Buster during the Murdaugh case was absolutely disgusting, like sharks looking for their next prey. The vitriol towards the powerful Murdaugh family absolutely blinded people to their own prejudice and bias. That kid had to endure things no human should have to. Having his own mother and brother brutally murdered at their own home, his dad's evil deeds with the fraud, and the fake hit job, and the murder trial of the century in South Carolina with his father was the prime suspect and ultimately convicted. Unable to just grieve and process everything he had been through, he also had to deal with unfounded rumors that he also killed someone with absolutely nothing to go on except rumors. But for some, that's enough, especially when it's not your skin on the line. Wonder just how many of the bloodthirsty sharks on this thread would think it was enough to warrant all the countless headlines, documentaries, etc., if it was themselves being accused. Love it. Yeah. So anyway, someone else. Oh, our friend Ben. Hello, Ben. How are you? Oh, hey, Bob. How's it going, Bob? Ben said this. Oh, he actually found a clip of Mr. EB saying some stuff. How about they start with this clip first? But don't take my word for it. Watch for yourself. All kind of rumors, one says.
Possibly Buster and Stephen, which
hang on.
There's all kinds of rumors out there. One day you hear that there was a relationship between, possibly Buster and Stephen, which
I was kind of jealous.
You also hear that there may have been other relationships between Stephen and older members of the Murdaugh family, which I don't want to name right now.
What?
Jesus, dude.
What? Older members of the Murdaugh family? My dog doesn't approve of this. So he's using the word rumors to get, in my opinion, he's using the word rumors to get away with spreading the stuff around.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Now, one more thing before we get into the document, and that is this. I don't know who owns Court TV, but I feel like they should be on the list. Here's why. I was just looking up Eric Bland, Stephen Smith, Buster Murdaugh, just to see what videos came up. And 6 months ago or so, there was this.
Interviewing people who claim to have heard rumors about Stephen Smith and Buster Murdaugh. Now Murdaugh is answering questions about the allegations.
No, sorry, wrong one. I'll show you that one in a second. Show you this one first.
I love it. He should be asked that question. He should be interviewed if he hasn't been interviewed already. Eric, curious if you know, I know certainly SLED's conducting their investigation. They may be giving you limited information as the attorney of the Smith family. Have they said anything about whether they've interviewed Buster or not?
Chief Keel won't provide that to me, but what he has said is that this is very much an active investigation and that there are a number of issues that he has to get answers from several people. And as we have learned over the course of the spring and summer, last summer, there are 5 to 6 people which SLED believe have information as to what happened to Stephen.
Eric, thank you for that. One thing that always troubled me, I'm sure it does you, and we've touched on this before, but I want to play a clip about it from your client, Sandy. It's the information about the Murdaughs, Alec and Randy Murdaugh, being at the scene. To me, this just stinks to high heaven if they were there. Let's watch.
When they removed his body from the road, and that was about 9:30, I seen me and my daughter and my son, Chris, seen Alex and Randy Murdaugh at the scene. When Joel was at the sheriff's department, him and Stephanie were at the sheriff's department, I was on the phone with Joel, and Joel said, "Hold on, Randy Murdaugh's calling." And so he said, that was strange. And I said, what was it? He said, Randy Murdaugh called and wants to help with Stephen's investigation.
So the civil attorney, 2 civil attorneys, really, because that's mainly what Murdaugh was, part-time prosecutor, a disgrace to the badge, as we know. But they're there. This just is so troublesome, isn't it, Eric? Have you learned any more about that since the last time we've talked?
I have.
Oh, I bet you have.
Randy claims that he was there because Sandy's ex-husband, Joel, who was representing, Randy was representing Joel on a workers' compensation case. He said that he was asked by Joel to go to the scene, which kind of makes sense. Okay. The question is, why was Alex there if he was there? Now, according to Randy's attorney, Randy said he was not there at the time that Sandy said that she saw both Alex and Randy at the scene. His attorney says that they were there the following day and it was Randy and an investigator. Now, I've known Sandy Smith now for well over a year and a half. She's pretty smart. She knows what she saw, and she's pretty good with facts. Now, simply we have a dispute and a credibility issue. The police will be able to solve that. The investigators who were there.
Oh, I thought he was talking about himself with the credibility issue.
And she said she saw Randy and Alex. All SLED has to do is ask those police officers, did you see Alex Murdaugh at the scene? And that'll answer that question.
That's right. Well, and Sandy Smith has a lot of credibility, as you said, Eric. She knows what she saw. She knows who was there. And certainly it's in the Murdaugh's interest not to be there at the time that she said she saw them, because it really looks fishy. It does. And we know Alec Murdaugh, anything he says,
similar to,
can't believe. Please, Eric, go ahead.
Similar to Julie. Similar to when Alex and his father showed up at the boating accident on the marina and then went to the hospital. It looks like that they're trying to possibly shape an investigation.
And if they did, we could see more charges brought against Alec Murdaugh if he did try in some way to exert improper influence over this one. We've got to leave it there for now. But Eric Bland, thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
And would you like to join a threesome with Croft and Offer?
True crime porn. Lovely.
I love it, Eric. I love it. He should be.
No, don't clip that out, please. I love it, Eric. Oh, I love it. Oh, Eric.
Love it.
Eric.
Hang on. Just this one piece. Hang on 1 minute.
But I think the one question that needs to be asked to Buster, and he needs to answer, is does he have any knowledge of what happened to Stephen?
I love it, Eric. I love it. He should be asked that question.
Okay. See what he just asked? He said, Buster needs to answer the question, does he know anything about the murder of Stephen Smith, right? Now, that was 6 months ago. Now, in August 2023, look what happened. So 6 months earlier than that, look at this.
For the first time.
His sister said someone approached her and said that you and Stephen were romantically involved. His brother says that someone approached him and says that you were with a group of young men who beat him with a baseball bat. What do you say to that? To both of those?
Absolutely baseless rumors. I unequivocally deny anything that you just read off of that piece of paper. I did not have any personal, intimate relations with Stephen, and that obviously cannot be proven because it is baseless. I never had anything to do with his murder, and I never had anything to do with him on a physical level of any regard.
No one has ever been charged in Stephen Smith's death.
Right. So he had been questioned. He has absolutely refuted it. What's this garbage? What's this garbage?
Yeah.
Right? Why is he getting around saying that he's never been questioned and he's never said anything about it? He has. He came out and did a goddamn interview about it. So what is this? This is bullshit. That's bullshit, man. Bullshit.
Yep.
Absolute crap. He's gone to the effort of doing an interview, which he shouldn't have to do because there's no evidence against him anyway. Right? And he said flat out, not only was there no physical relationship, because that's just salacious crap, but I didn't smack him with a baseball bat, and I certainly have nothing to do with his murder. He said it, done. That should be the goddamn end of it. That was August 2023. That should be it. That should just be the end of it. Right? So good on you for suing, Buster. Now, let's have a look at the document, shall we? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. So yes, we have state of South Carolina, county of Hampton. So Buster is suing Blackfin Inc., Warner Bros., Discovery Inc., Warner Media Entertainment Pages Inc., Campfire Studios Inc., The Cinemart LLC, Netflix Inc. Again, boy, Netflix really can't catch a break. Gannett Co. Inc., and Michael M. DeWitt Jr.
Yep. So he's that local guy who is an editor of a newspaper, and he's the only individual who's been named. Never know. More people could end up on this lawsuit. We'll see. And hello, God. How are you, God? Have you since you said what's this on about? What are we on about? Have we answered this? What is that TV reporter playing foot cheese with Eric under the? What are you talking about?
You retracted that one and retyped it, right?
All right. Okay, let's get going. You hear the ka-ching? Yes.
Okay. So, defendants above named, you're hereby summoned and required to answer the complaint herein. And blah, 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 blah. So, then it gets into the meat, the girth of the
girth.
So, basically, most of these are the defendant. Blackfin Inc. is a corporation organized and existing under the laws of New York, with its principal place of business in New York, but it is subject to the jurisdiction of the court by reason of doing business in South Carolina and by the commission of the below described wrongful acts. So
there's a bunch of people named here. And when I say people, they're entities. So there's Netflix, there's this Gannett Co. And these are just like accusations against them. So, well, I say accusations, they're just being named as in they're part of the lawsuit. And then we get to this defendant, Michael DeWitt. And P.S., by the way, if I were to go back to one of the articles about it, I could tell you that there are actual like one of the things that Netflix made, I think it was Murdaugh Murders, Deadly Dynasty. There's a HBO series, Low Country, The Murdaugh Dynasty. Discovery Inc. made Murdaugh's Deadly Dynasty. Netflix made Murdaugh Murders, A Southern Scandal. And Michael DeWitt appeared in that one, the Murdaugh Murders, A Southern Scandal. And he made statements about the Guardian's coverage of Smith's death. And those points that he made are actually listed out, like they're quoted in this document. All right, so we can probably go forward now to the background of the case. So that's point 18.
On July 8th, 2015, year of our Lord, Stephen Smith, whose car had given out of gas. Sure have a pretty mouth for a city boy. Was walking along a rural road in Hampton County. Wait, get back to it. One sec, guys.
You're right.
So 18 here. Walking along a rural road in Hampton County, South Carolina. It was late at night. As he was walking along the road, he was allegedly struck by a part of a vehicle and killed. Ooh, where was Karen Reed? News sources now report his death is being considered by a statewide grand jury, and the media has reported on individuals unrelated to plaintiff allegedly being involved in his death. The plaintiff, even though he has been falsely accused of harming Stephen Smith, as described below, has not been notified by any law enforcement entities of any allegations against him related to Stephen Smith's death. On or about June 172022 AD, year of our Lord, defendant Warner Brothers Discovery Inc. began streaming and broadcasting a series, Murdaugh Murders Deadly Dynasty, throughout the entire country, including South Carolina, through its platform Discovery Plus and the investigation Discovery Television channel, which falsely suggests and subtly accuses the plaintiff of being the murderer of Stephen Smith. During a 10-minute segment of the Murdaugh Murders Deadly Dynasty series, the plaintiff is alluded to a number of times as the murderer of Stephen Smith.
If you could, stop for a moment. So this whole idea of alluding to him.
Yeah.
Of alluding to him. Now, I've watched a few defamation trials, and this, I believe, and I've seen it done before, the plaintiff can argue that you don't have to flat out say he did this. By continuing to allude to something, by putting the person's face next to the murdered person and saying that there are rumors that they were at the place at that time, that they had a bad relationship, blah, blah, blah. People have questions, etc. That can be enough to persuade a jury on the balance of probabilities that that person is being accused of murder. It is not as good as saying flat out they murdered them, but yeah, that's something that I've seen before. And I mean, I'm not a defamation lawyer, obviously, and I'd love to have someone come on and weigh in on that. But yeah, it's very very tricky. If you're going to get around and make these allegations,
We can try to see if
um,
Barnes is available.
Barnes, if you're going to get around and make these allegations, you're playing with fire, aren't you? You can't just do that. EB will go after Buster until his last dying breath. Yeah, it just feels like people.
He only does that because he wants to date him, like AOC said.
He does have a lovely head of red hair.
Mm. You know
But it
that.
just feels like all of these people look at the Murdaugh family like they're easy targets,
Well,
and they're
they
not.
kind
Like,
of are at this moment.
well, Buster, if he's done nothing wrong, and
Yeah,
I believe he probably hasn't, like,
probably not.
who's to say that he's actually done something wrong? If he's done nothing wrong, he's not an easy target.
Hmm.
He's not. If he's got nothing to hide and he's done nothing wrong, then come after them, man. Come after them with full force. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. These statements about the plaintiff are defamatory and falsely accuse the plaintiff of committing a crime of moral turpitude. The false statements have been published to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of viewers who watch the show, including viewers in South Carolina. And the defamatory statements continue to be republished as of the filing of this action on a broad array of streaming platforms and channels owned by defendant Warner Bros. Discovery Inc. Discovery Inc. has hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
To its Discovery Plus investigation.
Yeah. Investigation, Discovery, and other streaming and broadcasting services and channels within South Carolina was aware of the acute regional interests in the story and intended for South Carolina viewers to watch Murdaugh Murders Deadly Dynasty. Defendant Warner Bang Bros. Discovery Inc. purposefully and specifically directed marketing and advertising efforts for this series to South Carolina citizens. Defendant Blackfin Inc. created and produced the Murdaugh Murders Deadly Dynasty, and in doing so published the above described defamatory statements, including concerning plaintiff, and profited from defendant Warner Bros. Discovery Inc.'s republishing of the statements.
I could probably move on here. So
Yeah, okay.
we've got, this is where they're mentioning that we've got the Low Country one as well. They're saying that it was aimed at South Carolina area, but it went so much further. Like, sure, they probably aimed it at that area as being like their primary media market, but I mean, come on, it went global. So yeah, keep going.
On February 22, 2023, defendant Netflix Inc. began streaming a series entitled Murdaugh Murders, a Southern Scandal, which depicts a young man with red hair carrying a baseball bat. And I don't mean that as a sexual term. The plaintiff has red hair, and it is readily ascertainable from the content of the series that the creators were depicting the plaintiff as the murderer of Stephen Smith. The series publishes statements such as, "Everyone keeps coming up to me and saying it was the Murdaugh boys."
Really?
And listening to the statements, it's pretty clear Stephen's death is intertwined with the Murdaughs. The series falsely contains statements that the plaintiff was engaged in a romantic relationship, and that it was plaintiff and maybe two other individuals who murdered or killed Stephen Smith.
Are you for real? I haven't watched these. Has anyone watched these? I can't. It actually had like a redhead dude with a baseball bat going after him.
A little sus.
What? How did they think they were going to get away with that?
Well, it could be
So
any
wrong.
old. It could be any old redhead with a baseball bat.
Oh, please.
Because there's a lot of red hair males.
I need to see this. Oh, did they think it was Ronald McDonald?
Yeah.
Then the Hamburglar? And Grimace? Wow. That's so wrong.
Okay, so here. Michael M. DeWitt Jr. is the editor of the Hampton County Guardian, a local weekly newspaper covering Hampton County. Mr. DeWitt appeared in the Netflix series Murdaugh Murders, a Southern Scandal. In both his individual capacity and with the scope and course of his agency as the editor of the Hampton County. In the documentary, he states, "We were hearing all of these rumors about a possible connection. There is some truth to it. We could not put the Murdaugh name in the story unless we wanted to face lawsuits. We said a prominent, well-known family was rumored to be involved. Everyone knew who we were talking about.
Oh,
We,
everyone knows.
we published the story and we waited like good Southern boys. People would come up to me in the Piggly Wiggly and pat me on the back."
The Piggly Wiggly? What's the Piggly Wiggly?
It's a grocery store.
Really? That sounds dirty.
People would come up to me in the Piggly Wiggly, maybe it's a gay bar, and pat me on the back.
What?
Piggly Wiggly.
The people come up to me at the Piggly Wiggly.
We're so thankful you had the courage to run the story. We did everything but put the Murdaugh name in the story. And I began to have a bad taste in my mouth. It is a gay bar.
What?
I began to have a bad taste in my mouth.
Oh, right.
About the
happens.
about the members of the Murdaugh family, as many people in the community did. I began to have a bad taste in my mouth about the members of the Murdaugh family. Phrasing, dude, phrasing.
Oh, please.
Good Lord, sir, phrase that better.
Well, he's a writer. He should know better.
Yeah. When put in context with the remainder of the documentary, it is clear that Mr. DeWitt is falsely accusing the plaintiff of being involved in the murder of Stephen Smith. Mr. DeWitt's false statements defame the plaintiff and damage his reputation.
I love how now you're doing the whole document with the Southern accent.
Suffer, child.
Suffer.
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 Defendants' publications are unprivileged or exceed the scope of privilege recognized by South Carolina and/or federal law. The statements were made with reckless indifference to the truth. In publishing these statements, defendants purposefully ignored information demonstrating their falsity that was readily available to and within the defendant's knowledge, including information indicating that individuals unrelated to plaintiff were responsible for Mr. Smith's death. Defendants' publications and republications of the defamatory statements are unfair and biased in that defendants deliberately chose to omit from the series information contradicting the above described defamatory statements.
Yeah, because that wouldn't have been any fun.
Yeah. All of the above described statements were defamatory and falsely accused the plaintiff of being involved in the murder of Stephen Smith. As a result of the specific false and defamatory statements made by defendants and republished by defendants, the plaintiff's reputation has been irreparably damaged, and he has suffered mental anguish. Well, I can believe that.
Yep.
Plaintiff is entitled to actual damages and punitive damages because of the reckless conduct of the defendants in falsely accusing him of being involved in the murder of Stephen Smith. Wherefore, plaintiff prays for actual damages punitive damages, and the cost of this action, and some sweet Southern tea.
Wow. 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 I wonder how much money is going to be involved.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I hope if it goes to trial, it gets straight.
Oh God, that'd be amazing.
Oh, imagine.
Imagine he comes out like Johnny Depp and gets his reputation back.
Oh. Well,
And
I don't think he has a bad reputation. I don't like.
Oh,
you
he's
guys
just
tell me, what
associated
do
with
you
the name.
think? He is associated with the name, but I don't think people hate Buster. Do people hate Buster?
I think they want to go after him because of the name, and they
Yeah.
want to take down a powerful family. Like
Maybe.
rich, powerful white family. People love to tear those down.
I guess. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Unless you're the
like,
Kennedys.
Unless you're the Kennedys.
Well, then again, actually, you know.
Yeah. Also, Benjamin Gray says something. Has anyone mentioned Buster was kicked out of college for ethical issues? I believe court cheating. I remember something about this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, becoming a lawyer after that would be very hard. Fair enough.
It would be hard to kind of pass the character and fitness part of the bar.
EB made it.
Sure.
But what is his job now? What does he do? Isn't he in stocks and bonds or something?
Maybe he does porn. He's in OnlyFans.
He's in OnlyFans. All right. Quick.
He's called Big Red.
Big Red. Big Red 2. 2.0. Archer is a gay dating app? He's in
Jesus
crypto?
Christ, is it really?
Is it? Biden did it, became POTUS, even though he plagiarized the Canadian politician.
Like a week ago when he plagiarized Ronald Reagan.
Wow.
He ended his 88 presidential campaign because he was caught plagiarizing.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Biden.
but what's his job now, though?
Oh,
What does he
Buster.
do?
No, he's
Yeah,
president.
Buster. What's he do?
Oh, Buster. Okay.
Buster! Stay on topic.
Don't want to search for Buster Murdaugh job. Let's do employment. Good thing Safe Search was on. Yeah, he was kicked out for plagiarizing. Can't find it readily.
What is it? What's his job? What does he do?
I can't
Is
find
he
it.
working with an uncle or something? Yeah. See, okay, here's the thing, right? I don't see anything wrong with him and his dad, Alex, and Rudolph, the granddad, having been at the crime scene, if it was a crime scene.
Yeah.
Right. So what Online Red was saying earlier, when we were looking at, what is it?
Probably. That could be.
Nice. Hang on just a minute. Let's just get back to here for a sec.
Oh.
Not this. This. This bit here.
They were there. Let's watch.
When they removed his body from the road, and that was about 9:30. I seen me and my daughter and my son, Chris, seen Alex and Randy Murdaugh at the scene.
So is
when
this
Joel
really
was at
the
the
whole
sheriff's,
reason
him and Stephanie were
why
at the sheriff's
he
department.
ended up being a
I was on the
suspect?
phone with Joel, And Joel said, hold on. And so he said, that was strange. And I said, what was it? He said, Randy Murdaugh called and wants to help with Stephen's investigation.
Is that it?
So the civil attorney, two civil attorneys, really, because that's mainly what Murdaugh was, part-time prosecutor, a disgrace to the badge, as we know. But they're there. This just is so troublesome, isn't it, Eric? Have you learned any more about that since the last time we've talked?
I have.
Ooh.
I have. Randy claims that he was there because Sandy's ex-husband, Joel, who was representing, Randy was representing Joel on a workers' compensation case.
Yeah, I don't understand why that's such a big deal about them both being there. That makes no sense to me. Like, one of them is a part-time prosecutor, but they're both ambulance chasers, to put it in a horrible way. But isn't that kind of true?
Yeah, they are. So
Yeah. So
I mean, they're probably almost as bad as DUI guy.
Yeah.
No wonder he hasn't been in the Campton courtroom for the last few days.
Yeah, that's true.
He keeps chasing. Every time he goes in, he hears the sirens. He's like, ah!
I love it here. I'm home. Stephen's sister also said that Stephen told her, "You're not going to believe who I'm seeing. He's someone big." Or maybe he meant big.
Yeah. Were they
just
black?
Are these people have nothing better to do than just gossip? I swear.
Well, they live
Dear
in
me.
Walterboro, South Carolina. Of course, they have nothing better to do.
It's just so weird to me. So weird to me. Buster works out. Oh, here we go. Buster
Seriously?
works out wild.
Please tell me you're kidding.
Susie, come on.
There's no way he's working at that.
Come on. Does he own it? I hope it's Southern Fried Chicken. All right, we're finishing up for the day. This is crazy. We are so going to follow this one. This is made for us. It is made for us. He works at the corporate office. What's the corporate office?
Of Wild Wings?
Oh. Okay, so is Susie for real?
Well, okay, so there is a rumor about this on Reddit. I don't know if it's true though, but okay, so that isn't just a random made up reference.
Okay.
It's a rumor though, but
Okay. So he likes to keep these sorts of things private. And one thing EB might be right about is that the discovery process is going to be, like he said, brutal, but he was being a little bit dramatic there. EB is known to be a bit dramatic.
no.
But, no. Yes, things are going to come out. His life is going to be put out there. But I don't think there's anything that much necessarily to hide. I think, stuff about what he's currently doing in his life, his relationships, where he works, all that kind of stuff. It's going to come out. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to be a jury trial. That's life. But if he's done nothing wrong, he's got no nasty skeletons in the closet, then it's better that he seeks justice and clears his name once and for all. Good for you, Buster. We're behind you. And we are going to be keeping on top of this one. Definitely make sure that you stay following us on this, because this only happened 24 hours ago. We are on it. We are on it. Okay, we are going to raid Publicly Buzzed.
Ooh.
Let's go over there
hey,
because they're
Dr.
live.
Hines?
Oh, hello. How are
Didn't
you?
know you were here.
Didn't know you were here. You just turned up and we're just finishing. And I got your messages and I fell asleep. Okay, I was like, hey, how's it going? We are so on the wrong time zones. But yeah, definitely. I'll chat to you soon. Good to see you. And yeah, we're going to go Buzz. We're going to go Raid, Steve, and Dan. So everyone, go say hello, Raid, over there. Let's go. Thanks everyone for being here.
Bye. Bye, my children.
How come I can't get rid of that?
I hope you have a wonderful day, my
Hope you have a
sweet
wonderful
southern
day.
children. I'm the captain now. I'm the captain. I have no idea where the hell Hella went. She was like trying to end the stream and she's just like, boop, bye. And now it's me. Well, this is awkward. I mean, I guess I can end the stream because I love to do that. I guess I'm going to end it. She's not coming back. Waiting, Hella, sweetie. Okay, I guess I'm going to end it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Let's see. What do we have to play here? I go on with the stream. What the hell? Where is Hella? Like, I thought she'd pop back in or something. All right, I'm just going to end it. It's been fun if I can find her. Outro.